want to know yours. My Edmonton is CTV News!
It's a scenario most parents only dream of. Getting your kids to do what you ask the first time you ask it. A world-renowned relationship expert is here in our city, and he says it is indeed possible. Bruce Sullivan here to share some ideas about how to make this all happen. This is the million-dollar question, Bruce. How do you make it happen?
It is the million-dollar question. I think parents have been asking it for a long time. And, you know, the paradox is that we grew up as children watching what our parents did with us, and there's sometimes the history repeating itself even in our own family. So lots of mums and dads get frustrated. They want to know what they're doing. Are they doing the right thing? So I think it is possible. And I think one of the first things to remember is just be careful what you ask your kids to do. Because if you're going to ask them to do it and you maybe attach a consequence to it, it's so important to make sure that you follow up on that. Because otherwise you may not be a trusted parent. In fact, by the time a lot of kids are 2, sadly, they may not even trust their mum and dad in what they're saying. So, for example, Erin, you know, you get away from that TV or I'll turn it off. And the 2-year-old's going, you've never turned it off. You know, if you don't eat those vegetables, there'll be no ice cream. Oh, that's not true. There's always ice cream in our family. So that's a paradox for mums and dads, being careful what you promise kids you're going to do. And if you do promise it, then you're going to have to deliver on that promise.
And you sort of say that kids are pre-programmed to basically try and get what they want, right? A little manipulative.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily manipulative, but, you know, biologically, we are born as a species to be dependent on our mums and dads to grow us up and get us to that point until we leave around about 18 years of age as an adult, or, you know, for some families, maybe 28. So
some families now, that's for sure.
Definitely. And so what we talk about is just as relevant for, you know, the 2-year-old that's trying to test that independence. At 2, you realise that you're not connected to your mum and dad. I'm actually separate from you. I'm not connected, and I have my own thinking and my own thoughts. And so that's when, for lots of mums and dads, the frustration occurs. But you can do some really good work before that in just building that trust by just keeping your promise. Did you do what you say you're going to do, even as a mum and a dad, so you're not confusing the children about what's coming out of the hole in the front of your head?
And even being on board with one another, the mum and the dad, right?
Absolutely critical. And, you know, I say to lots of mums and dads by way of encouragement, you know, before we go to the supermarket, every week we might spend 10 minutes just doing a little reconnaissance of the house, and we do that bit of planning to make sure we don't waste an hour at the supermarket. I'm always encouraging mums and dads to spend another 10 minutes thinking about what are we doing with our parenting this week? What are we paying attention to with our kids? Are we paying enough attention to them to make sure that they're knowing that if you're doing good things, we'll pay attention versus just doing bad things before we start paying attention to them?
Are we too distracted as parents right now? There's so many other things going on, work and technology, and do we just not give enough time to our kids?
I think one of the biggest challenges for mums and dads, and, you know, I'm careful when I say this because most mums and dads feel guilty enough as it is, you know, we're doing the right thing, I'm busy, there's 2 incomes coming in, we need to support our family and our lifestyle. So there is an issue, and I think, and a lot of kids do behave badly because I tried to get positive attention from you. I did everything that I could to get positive attention, but that didn't work. So now I'm going to play up because at least now you're paying attention to me. And that makes a big difference.
Bruce, we have just skimmed the surface on this, absolutely. But you do have a presentation that is coming up on how to get your kids to do what you ask the first time you ask it, and it's happening tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. at Brander Gardens Elementary School. Tickets are still available at the door or by calling 780-800-5505. Again, thank you so much, and good luck with everything.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.